Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
New year, new you? Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping can help make sure you keep that resolution this time. Our proven system combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition, along with our expert coaching to make sure you're moving forward toward your goals. The next 10-week challenge starts January 11th, but if you enroll now, you can start today and get a head start on those gains for no extra cost. Plus, head to fxblincoln.com and you can save $100. Don't wait. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First Five Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Welcome in to We Talk Facts with 9-year NBA veteran and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and two-time Nebraska Football National Champion Clester Johnson. Talking and taking names in sports and day-to-day living. Sit back, relax, and join the show with 9-year NBA vet and Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer Erick Strickland and two-time Nebraska Football National Champion Clester Johnson.
Happy New Year to everybody that are WTF We Talk Fact fans, listeners, supporters. We appreciate you for hanging in there with us through the 2024 year. Clester Johnson and I, we give thanks to you and the wonderful time that we've been able to share and have with you guys here on WTF We Talk Facts. It is now 2025, and we did not want to start off in the second week. Clester and I both remote today, but we both said we wanted to give it to you today. Pause. But on top of that, we want to give condolences to those loved ones who have experienced the loss of life and the tragic situation that happened down in New Orleans. We know that Notre Dame and Georgia are partaking in that game tonight. It is going on as we speak. It's in the fourth quarter, and Notre Dame has things in hand right now, but it is never over, as we can see what happened in a previous matchup with it was what was it, class? Arizona State and Texas. We saw how quickly it can change. But we got a great show for you guys today. Clester Johnson, how are you doing? How was your new year? How's the family? What's up with you, my guy?
You know, I don't know if you see my sign, but I put up clown-free zone. I'm done dealing with clowns. I'm in my happy phase. Life is good. Great holiday season. I had a son going to the portal. He's now committed to a place where I think they're going to get him plenty of rockage next year. Took a lot of plane trips to figure out where was the best spot. And I think we're going to see some sparks fly in the fall.
Well, that's awesome. That's good to hear. Shout out to Harrison Arns that's on the ones and twos. Harrison, how are you this fine New Year start to the 2025 year?
Doing great, fellas. It's been a great start. The college football players have been entertaining. Clester, I saw some of the notes he sent with this Notre Dame and Georgia game going the way it is. I think it adds more weight to what a year for the Big Ten. But no, I'm fantastic. It's been a good holiday for me.
Well, that's good. And as we get into our topic of discussion for today, we're definitely going to talk about the college playoff and how it's played out up to this point. We know that this is the first year in which they have expanded the college football playoff bracket. It is now a situation similar to those in the past, to where there's been a shift, there's been a change in the format, and there could be some controversies that arise out of it. And that's what we want to talk about today. 402-464-5685, as well as on the stream. You can tap in the conversation and let us know your thoughts on everything. But as we get it started, let me ask this question, Cless. Up to this point, because I got some controversial takes, but I just want to get our basic overview as to how you feel about how the playoffs have been summed up, and has it lived up to your billing up to this point with the new expansion?
I think, great question, Eric. Thank you for the question. And I will say this. I like the inclusivity of more teams. I think that invites more fan bases in to get involved with the bowl season and get some excitement about my team has a chance to actually win a championship. You never know. You have to play the games. You just never know what could happen. I mean, look at that Arizona State game. Both teams had a chance to win. I mean, controversial call that could have ended the game, and Texas missed 2 critical field goals. But here's my controversy of it all, Eric. I love this format. I love the fact that it ain't just 4 teams. I like the SMUs, the Boise States. I love that. That's great.
It's Thirsty Thursday, so Stricky's tapping in. You understand me? Okay, I just want to let you know. Okay.
What's ruining things just a little bit, Eric, is if you have the opportunity to play for a championship, why are you opting out? I don't understand that. I don't understand that one for the life of me, man. You got a chance to win a championship, and what if your team keeps winning? Like, I don't want this guy to have a ring. Like, you opted out 2-3 games ago. Now we win the championship. You think you deserve a ring? That's bothering me right now. You got even the Miami game. You see the Miami game, like the Miami quarterback plays for a half, and then he decides now that didn't make no sense to me. They probably would have won if he stays in the game.
Well, there's two things. There's 2 things with that. That's a great point. It's a great take. There's 2 things that I want to address with that. One, I'll stay with that one since that's the fresh comment that you made. We know that Cam Ward did sit out, but on the flip side, we know with Colorado, you had 2 Heisman finalists. Well, no, Shador wasn't a finalist, but he probably could have been. But they weren't going to let 2 in. But
2 potential top 10
top 10 picks in the NFL. Let's stay at that. They played in the game. That is something that you want to look at, because it wasn't a college football playoff game. One, it wasn't a top tier bowl that most people would say that they would have loved to be in. But the one thing that I like about what Colorado did is that they put an insurance policy, they said it's the highest ever in history, being that you have 2 players that definitely are going to take it. So that's something. My question then on that I want you to get to, but I'm going to talk about this other part of the controversy. But I want you to answer this part too. Is this something that maybe universities should do going forward? Help their players, put out these good high insurance policies for them, give them some incentive. Maybe if we get to a contractual agreement in the NIL situation, that's part of a bonus, or that's part of something in the NIL deal that they must adhere to as a part of the contract. And then hopefully that'll inspire them to play. Okay, boom, pause. Now here's the next one. I feel bad for Oregon. And this is part of the controversy that sometimes arises out of college football playoff situations. Not bad that they lost, but bad that they had the worst draw of anybody out there. And here's the thing. Right now, Notre Dame's winning. Class, if Notre Dame pulls this out, every freaking team that had the bye took an L. Is that something to where we see that those teams that came in, one got an extra game, two, they played at home, they got momentum built up, you're resting 2 weeks, and then you get to play them on a neutral field? Should it be reversed? Should it be that those that get the bye get the home benefit? Like those are the things that need to be in that discussion. However you want to answer that, answer those two things for me. And then Harrison, if you want to join into that conversation.
Yes, there definitely, certainly should be some changes. I believe that so the very first thing you talked about was
the insurance situation and Shador and Travis Hunter playing.
That's not a new
thing.
thing.
No, the insurance is not.
Yeah.
But they actually did it, but they felt comfortable enough with the insurance amount that if something was to happen, they felt good about it.
Like that really only qualifies for people who really believe they're going to be a first round draft pick.
Okay.
Maybe not necessarily. You're probably not really guaranteed to have that happen if you don't think that you are going to be. Like, there's a lot of people who are going to be drafted, but maybe not necessarily first rounders. Like, it's pretty much a given that those two are going to be first rounders. And it makes it a little easier for insurance companies to say, you know what, we know they got a chance to make that money and pay that premium. We good on that. That's not a new thing. I think for potential first rounders, that's one of those things that they should venture and do just so they can enhance the playoffs, especially if you're a playoff potential championship team. I would like to see Georgia with their starting quarterback plan. It would just make the game a little bit more interesting. Cam Ward was in a lower tier bowl, but still, I would have liked to. I don't. That's one thing I just don't. I don't understand. But I think that the coaches are encouraging some of those guys just to look good. Some of it is just to look good for potential recruits. Like, listen, if we know you're gonna be a top draft pick, we're gonna save you. We ain't gonna put you out there at harm's way. We will hold you back if we think that you may get hurt. But what's to say that, some guys just decide, hey, I ain't gonna play the season because I think next year I'm gonna be a top draft. I mean, Jamar Chase did that. Jamar Chase did not play a whole year. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like, he decided to opt out of playing his junior year because he knew he was going to be a first-round draft pick. The next one, Eric, the next question was...
It dealt with the bye right now as it's looking.
Listen, they're gonna have to change the ranking system. Like, I don't know if it was fair that Arizona State was a top seed. They should probably go by I think they should go by rankings, to be honest with you. I think they should go by AP top 25 rankings for the ranking of the playoffs. And you're right. I hadn't heard that before, but I think that if you're a top seed, I think you should get one game at home.
And so that's the way I thought about it. And look, I'm only throwing it out there, just throwing potential adjustments that could be beneficial to this whole thing. Right. Look, we're not saying take away the money from the bowls, right? The bowl games. That's what they're doing right now. They're playing. Okay, just play those the first round. Play the bowl games the first round and give the benefit to those who got the seeds to then have their home game.
Right.
And then go back to the bowl system. Okay, that's one way. Another thing I threw out there, Clest, and Harrison, I want your idea on this too. Here's the other thing I threw out. If you do get the bowl, the bye, right, you then should get the choice of which bracket you want. So everything else is laid out. The first tier team, which is Oregon, then gets to choose which part of the bracket they want to be in. So they don't get stuck at, that's crazy. To me, what's going on with the other part of it, Class, it feels like what they're doing in the NBA right now with the load management, all that, you know what I mean? But anyway.
Penn State was rewarded. Penn State was rewarded.
I want to understand that. Like, then the second team, who's the second-rated team, they get to pick out of the next three of what side of the bracket they want, and then on, and then the fourth team just gets stuck. They would have probably got stuck with that bracket that Oregon ended up in, right? Yeah. That's the only other suggestion that I would throw out there. What's y'all thought?
Harrison, thoughts?
Yeah, I think you definitely got to change it up. I know it's a small sample size, but anybody who watches college football, as much fun as it would be to see Arizona State and Boise State pull off the upsets, the fact that those were going to be the upsets when they had the bye just seems like a disadvantage. And I do wonder, like if you're Oregon, you got to feel a little bit pissed off because you kind of sat there feeling good about yourselves. In the meantime, Ohio State was getting ready. They were fixing all the holes they needed to before they got ready for that playoff run, and they really got to put it all together versus Tennessee, get that confidence at home, and then take that versus Oregon. And if you guys remember when the MLB did this too, they switched up their playoff format, and all these teams had buys. And you actually saw in that first year, a lot of the teams with the buys actually end up losing in the upset games. Kind of feels like this for Oregon. Like they just sat around too long. Meanwhile, Ohio State was playing competitive football and caught them off guard.
That wasn't a catch off guard.
Well, it was show up. Oregon didn't have any answers for whatever the hell.
Revenge factor, it looked like to me.
Revenge factor. Those are two evenly, they're pretty evenly split teams in the first in their first meeting, and you always giving the edge to the team that lost because they're gonna go back and lick their wounds, and they're gonna come back and say, "All right, we get a second chance at this." Because I heard Will Howard actually talking about that. When they interviewed him, I don't know if you guys saw his interview. He said, "Hey, it's rare that you get a chance to right your wrong."
Yeah,
and we knew going in there we were going for blood. So,
well, here's the thing, though, right? This is why I'm saying out of the three adjustments, I think the bye should get the home. Like, could it have been different if Oregon goes back to Austin Stadium and they're playing at home with the majority of their fans and a small sample of Ohio State fans, as opposed to playing in a neutral with a half and half with all of that in play? So, you're probably more confident playing that game at home than on a neutral field with revenge factor in mind. So that's something that I think there needs to be a discussion, and I'm looking forward to hearing what those decisions are that are made. What game that you were looking to with interest in this matchups, but which game played out to be the best game that you saw while you were watching that playoff for this last round? Right, even right now, the Georgia Notre Dame game, I'm actually impressed. Here's why I'm going to say this last part. I'm going to let y'all finish, then we'll go to break. I'm impressed because your Penn State, your Ohio State, and your Notre Dames have been the ones who have had the label of not being able to come into the big game and perform. And right now, they're performing.
Yeah, I'll tell you, at this one, I'm unfortunately not able to catch the whole thing. But if we're talking best game so far, like obviously Texas, Arizona State yesterday was probably the cream of the crop. You get a double overtime game, some questionable calls from both sides on the referee's part, but it was a good feeling to see Arizona State to be one of those smaller schools actually go and compete with Texas and actually add some curiosity to it. Because now, man, when you're looking at Texas and Ohio State for that semifinal matchup, I don't know how many people are going to be picking Texas after that one. But then obviously with this game right here, yeah, I actually thought Notre Dame was going to have a good chance to pull it off, but just looking at the stats, it's been dominant for them.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing, Eric. Obviously, yesterday, Texas, Arizona State, just because it was very unexpected. I think most people saw Texas as the more dominant team. SEC with more 5-star picks, 4 and 5-star picks, the more ballyhooed quarterback. And I tell you, when it went 14-0, I think there was a lot of people, it was 14-3. I think a lot of people were thinking, yeah, I don't know if I want to watch any more of this game, right? I think a lot of people were thinking, okay, this is about to get out of hand. But slowly but surely, just goes to tell you, in college football especially, good coaching shines, man. When you got a really good coach, college football and basketball is about momentum. And if you can get your kids to rise up and say, listen, it ain't over. It's not over. Let's stick to the plan. We don't try to get it all back on one drive. Just stick to the plan. We'll be back in this game. And that's what you saw.
Well, there it is. We're going to come back and we're going to talk about the narrative. Right now, the narrative is the matchup as far as who's the big dog on the block. I'm not talking about 2-4 on the block, all sitting straight. We're talking about who's the big dog as far as the narratives and what the pundits are saying in conferences, whether it's the Big Ten or the SEC. I have some numbers that I can throw out at you, but right now there's a little discussion of who the big dog on the block is. We'll come back right after this, after a few messages, and we'll talk about who that is right after this.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Travis with Midwest Bank, now with 2 branches conveniently serving Lincoln and 8 other locations across Nebraska. We're here to help you with any of your needs. From opening a checking account to buying a home or financing your business, our staff is here for you. Stop in and you might see Shin Daddy himself. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank, member FDIC.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? Do you need a lawyer you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion? The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Contact us for a free consultation by calling 877-42-LIBERTY. Call Liberty Law and find out how we can help you get the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group, trial attorneys you can trust.
Nebraska Veterans Aid is here for veterans and dependents facing unforeseen financial emergencies. Get assistance with food, fuel, shelter, clothing, transportation, and even funeral and medical expenses. If you're a veteran facing a financial emergency, apply for Nebraska Veterans Aid through your county veteran service officer. Learn more at veterans.nebraska.gov/NVA. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call Patriot Plumbing at 402-464-7411 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-464-7411.
Limitless Mail has redefined the little blue pill with our new ED trochees that melt in your mouth, delivering faster results so you can be spontaneous again. Once you try the Limitless Mail trochee, you won't go back to the little blue pill. Our trochees go right to the source through your bloodstream, leading to quicker, harder results. To experience the difference for yourself and your partner, schedule a free consult with the men's health experts at limitlessmail.com.
Automotive Solutions is Lincoln's one-stop shop for all your vehicle needs, from vinyl wraps to engine repair and maintenance. Automotive Solution offers fleet services as well as printing and graphic design for vinyl applications, plus installation of vinyl for boats, trucks, cars, and anything else you want wrapped. Perfection is their standard, and they never settle for less. Call today at 531-249-5600 or go to automotivesolutionslincoln.com to learn more. That's Automotive Solutions, 2040 Southwest 5th Street in Lincoln.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
It's Thirsty Thursday. So Stricky had to pull out a little something, just for everybody to toast to the new year, since I didn't get to toast with you on the new year. We toasting it up on Thirsty Thursday right here on WTF We Talk Facts. Another episode starting the 2025 year. And here's the deal. Numbers have been put out. We're talking about the college football playoff bracket breakdowns as far as the winning percentages. And some of you may be surprised. The American with 8 games is now 6-1 with an 85.857 winning percentage. The ACC is doo-doo brown with is quite like Bubba Sparks is getting ugly with 2 out of 9 with 13 total. So they only got 2 more games left with a .182 winning percentage. Big 12, 8 games right now. They're 4-4. But here's the crazy thing about that. 2 of those games was matchups between each other. So they're win and a loss. And I don't think that's right, but we gonna say what it is. But when we talk about the matchups between them conferences, it looks like right now the Big 10 has the winning percentage breakdown over the SEC, where the SEC right now, the 14 games, is 7-5, and they're losing another one right now. So when you look at it, the narrative has been over. Well, we know what it was when Nick Saban was around, and LSU winning and Auburn winning, and we just keep running down the Georgia winning. It looked like they were winning all of the championships. Right now in the matchups, it looks like the Big Ten is holding their own. How do you feel about the toughness and the competitiveness between the two mega conferences? And who do you think looks the best? I'm going to say this last part, Cless. I've always said that the middle of the Big Ten I thought was stronger than the middle of the SEC. I could be wrong, but that was my assessment. You could make a different point. But how do you see it as far as the competitiveness, and is there a changing of the guard?
See, I saw it a little different. I thought that the SEC were stronger in the lower tier. So when you think about like Ole Miss, right? South Carolina, Texas A&M, Florida, Auburn, Kentucky, like over the years, those schools have been pretty solid. But this year, I really believe that the SEC is the portal, along with the opt-outs, is going to change. I think it's going to change the landscape of football. What you're going to see, and this is what I believe, I think it's going to go back and forth, okay? So in years past, Notre Dame would not have a chance against Georgia. I mean, no chance. And with Nick Saban retiring, Alabama, they have to refine themselves. They are not the same. I'm not willing to say that they're down yet, because Nick Saban's first year, he was 7-6 at Alabama. This year, Kalen DeBoer, 9-4. His first year at Alabama, and he had some really good years at Washington. So I think that he's going to figure out what his imprint is going to be on the program and see if he can maintain it and keep it at a higher level. It's going to be interesting to see that transpire. You never follow a legend, though. That I would never follow a legend. I would rather go to a crappy team and build it up versus trying to follow a guy like Nick Saban. I mean, if you look at his record over the last 17 years, it's incredible. This year, the Big Ten is clearly the best conference. Oregon 13-1, Ohio State 12-2, Penn State 13-2, Indiana 11-2, Illinois 10-3. The SEC did not have that kind of dominance this year. And in head-to-head matchups in this bowl season, the Big Ten has put it on them pretty good. They pulled out those victories. So I don't know. And right now, I think most people will say that the strongest team in the playoffs right now is probably Ohio State. Mm-hmm. Ohio State looked the strongest. And then Penn State is probably second. Mm-hmm. Well, I haven't looked at the bracket, but is there any chance that Penn State and Ohio State could meet in the championship?
That is the fact. They're both on the opposite side of the brackets.
Yeah.
So you have the opportunity for Texas and Georgia to meet in the championship. But that's going down the drain real quick.
End of regulation. Notre Dame won it. It's the end of the game.
That's over. That's over.
That's quickly toilet bowling down the drain.
Yeah.
That's quickly toilet bowling. But that's not going to happen. So yes, they're both on the opposite side of the brackets right now. And that young fella, Jeremiah Smith, Lord have mercy.
Daddy, are you watching
that young fella looks unstoppable right now as a freshman. Size, he reminds me of like a Julio Jones, that kind of domination.
Young T.O.
Man, yeah, young T.O. Man, he's amazing.
DK Metcalf. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is, they have a double-headed monster. It was thunder and lightning in the running back room as well. So
and they got a Mecca Ibuka who could have been a first rounder last year.
That's a fact. That's a fact, right? Shout out to this, because Illinois beat who a lot of people thought and were pushing for, potentially South Carolina, to get into the college football playoff. Yeah. They beat them. Illinois. Then Michigan in the rematch does work on Alabama. So it's like it's just one of those things that you kind of have to look at it. You have to consider. You have to think about what is it going to look like going forward. But then this is the other thing I want to throw to you, class, because I pulled up something, because I've always been talking about what's the format for Nebraska to get there, right? What does it look like for Nebraska? And I had pulled something up. Here it is. When you look at Ohio State, I'm just going to stay on the defensive side right now, right? And that defense was really tough. I mean, they got after them like I hadn't seen them in a while. Like, it's like everything else that happened with Michigan.
I know where you're going. So go ahead and pull it out.
And then I'm going to let you answer, and then I'm going to go to break. The defensive starters for Ohio State: Ty Hamilton, 5th year; Cody Simon, 5th year; Lathan Ransom, 5th year; Jack Sawyer, 4th year; Tyleek Williams, 4th year; JT Tiamalu, 4th year; Denzel Burke, 4th year; Jordan Hancock, 4th year; Sonny Styles, 3rd year. And then you have 2 transfer portal guys, one being Caleb Downs with his 1st year and Davidson Igbonosin with his 2nd year. I've always talked about the foundation being your young talent running up, similar to what Nebraska has done, running through the program, staying with the program, and then adding additions just to enhance the program in whatever side it is, the offense or the defensive side. How do you view it? Is that the model, or is that just a admiration?
Well, here's where I'm glad you brought that up, E. And here's the reason why I believe that you saw that. If you look at the teams, name the top 5 teams in the country right now. If you where are the top 5 teams that you would consider the pinnacle of college football? Who would you say it is, Eric?
Definitely Ohio State.
Ohio State.
You'd probably say Texas.
Texas, okay, yep.
Gotta throw Georgia in there.
Georgia, yep. Mm-hmm.
And I would probably say Penn State.
Penn State, okay. Give me one more. Would you say Oregon or Alabama?
Probably Oregon.
Okay. Oh, Notre Dame. That's crazy. Notre Dame just getting completely cut.
Okay, so let's throw those teams in there. Let's throw Oregon. Let's throw Alabama and Oregon in there, right? So that's 6 teams, Eric. Those schools have the most money, okay? And those schools probably have the most money. So what you're going to have to do, Eric, is each year, as it looks lucrative to leave, you got to be able to match whatever you think they going to get on the market. That's what's got to happen. I believe that Ohio State is probably, when you look at their collective, they probably have,
20 million plus.
Along with Texas, Oregon, you could throw A&M in there, but A&M still not, they still haven't turned the corner in regards to being relevant for a championship team. But, Texas, Alabama, Ohio State, kids probably are not leaving there as much because Ohio State can pay them, right? And they're going pro, right? You're going to go pro somewhere, you probably want to go to Ohio State. If you're a starter at Ohio State, good chance you're going to have a chance to go pro. And they're probably going to go, well, why are you hitting the market? We're going to be in the Big Ten Championship. We're going to be in a playoff. And I'm going to be able to give you the most money. So it's a downgrade to leave. So the Nebraska players What Nebraska has to do, number one, is have some success. And then the coaches got to be able to say, hey, listen, you had a great year, and we want to, you are a priority to us, and we want to make sure we keep you here. And we want to bump you. They got to go to some starters and be like, listen, we're going to bump you 50,000 this year. Like, to go to the player without having to ask for the money is what's going to make you win. That's what they're going to have to do.
Well, there it is. What say you? 402-464-5685. You can also get involved on the stream. You are welcome to tap in there as well. We appreciate you guys. And we got one more segment here where we're going to talk about Husker basketball. We have a blue blood coming in town on Saturday. It is alumni day as well. Former Huskers will be in the building on that day as well. Be careful. The weekend looks like it's going to be a crazy storm brewing. So y'all take care. We'll be right back right here on WTF. We Talk Facts.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
If you're sick of catering from the same places every month, it's time to switch things up. Mulberry Barbecue is perfect for business lunches and dinners, family gatherings, holiday parties, wedding receptions, rehearsal dinners, and so much more. Delivery and full service options are available, and they can cater for anything from 10 people to 500 people. Call them at 402-937-7114 to look at their menu options and get your catering booked today. Mulberry Barbecue, located at 11th and Cornhusker Highway.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Salt Mine City is now open at 8th and R in the Haymarket. Come check out Lincoln's newest brewery with 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager, Brick Street Amber Wheat, and so many more. There's daily drink specials like $1 off Moscow Mules on Tuesdays, $6 IPAs on Fridays, and $6 Bloody Marys on Saturdays. Stop by Tuesday through Thursday from 4 to 9 p.m., Fridays 4 to 11 p.m., Saturdays 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sundays from noon to 8 p.m. It's Salt Mine City, Lincoln's newest brewery at 8th and R.
Garage doors can break down or quit working at the worst times. At Doors Plus, they understand that a broken garage sometimes means repair and not replace. Sometimes, all you need to make your door like new again is a few bolts, realignment, or even new balance. Trust the pros at Doors Plus to handle your garage door repair the right way so you can get on with your busy schedule. Visit them online at doorsplusllc.com or give them a call at 402-590-5800.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Raising little ones is a big job, and you do your best to give them a good start every day. That means making sure they're well cared for while you're apart. You work hard, but it's not always easy to make ends meet. There may be help. Find out if you qualify for Nebraska's Child Care Tax Credit for working parents. You could be eligible for a credit of up to $2,000 per child on your next tax return. Learn more at nebraskachildcaretaxcredit.org. Brought to you by First 5 Nebraska and Nebraska Children and Families Foundation and aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Welcome to Mind Your Mind, inspiring pathways to mental wellness. As a child, I loved geometry, especially circles. A circle is defined as all points in a plane at an equal distance from the center. This reminds me of boundaries. The radius, the fixed distance from the center, symbolizes the limits around our core values or personal space. Just as the radius is consistent, our boundaries should be clear and consistent. Setting boundaries protects our physical and emotional health. A boundary can be a physical limit or a rule about how others can treat us. Setting boundaries shows self-love and lets others know what is and isn't acceptable. Today, I encourage you to set and stick to your boundaries because you are important. I am Ayanna Blake, reminding you to mind your mind. For more inspiration, connect with me on social media or my website, ayannablake.com. Until next time, take care of your mind and keep moving forward on your pathway to wellness.
Back to We Talk Facts on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Strick and Clester.
Welcome back to WTF We Talk Facts. We have a big game coming up on Saturday where the Nebraska Cornhusker men's basketball team will be hosting a blue blood out of UCLA coming into town, ranked number 15 in the country. The UCLA Bruins have knocked down two top 15 teams, one being Oregon with a 2-point win, and knocking down Gonzaga as well with a 3-point win. So they've played in some big games and won some close ones. But they're facing a Nebraska team. Harrison, what is that exact record at home now over the last couple of years? Is it like 21-1 or something like that?
Yeah, it's something outrageous because we didn't lose a single game at home last year, did we?
Yeah, no.
I'll look it up for us real quick. So
I
go
think
ahead.
they've only lost one game. I think they've only lost one game at home in the last 2 years. And and I think it was Creighton that did it. I think Creighton was the last time that they lost at home, and that was a couple of years ago. And when you look at UCLA coming in, there was one thing that I had dear to my heart. Shout out to the Kyle family, William Kyle Jr. and William Kyle III, who had surgery, and he's not going to be playing in this game. Me and Clester are former Bellevue West Thunderbirds, and he's a former Thunderbird now playing at UCLA. We were hoping to get a chance to watch him get back on the court after winning a state championship there. Wait, no, they didn't win the year that – yeah, they did. I think they won the year that William was there. But now they're coming in. Clester, the Huskers are 11-2. UCLA also coming in at 11-2, 2-0 in conference. Nebraska 1-1 in conference. And the key question is Nebraska a pretender or a contender?
You know, after that Michigan State game, wasn't sure. But based off of last year, I really think they got a little momentum from being able to reset and get back on track. You know, they had I'm not sure where Creighton is going to fall this year, but I feel like they're starting to, once they beat Creighton, sometimes that gives you a really good barometer of what you think your team is going to be. When I looked at the conference rankings, quite a few. I mean, you don't know yet. I mean, everybody's 11-2, a lot of 11-2s, a lot of 10-3s. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But UCLA, after this UCLA game, they didn't fare well, obviously, against Michigan State, who's a ranked team. Hopefully, that will give them a little bit of more momentum, saying that, listen, we need to represent ourselves a lot better. Even if they don't win the game, Eric, I would like to see it be a lot more competitive and with the potential to win. We saw what happened, like Harrison said last year, I don't think they lost a home game. So by winning this game, I really think it could really boost them going into the season, going into conference play. So
Harrison, before we get out of here, real
jury's
quick,
still
man.
out is what I want to say. Jury's still out.
Yeah. Harrison, before we get out of here, when you look at this Nebraska team, we know that in any given time, somebody can run into a buzzsaw. It happens to all of us. It's a night where you just happen to be off, especially in someone else's home. They get on one. They had some great Thirsty Thursday tap in liquor. And next thing you know, they didn't bust your head wide open to the white meat. So how do you feel about this Nebraska team as what you've seen so far? And what do you think this game is going to look like on tomorrow?
I mean, obviously, when you got it's 15 ranked UCLA now, like it's going to be a competitive game. I do like this matchup for Nebraska though, because the one thing that's the most encouraging is that their defense didn't take a step back from last year. In fact, it's gotten even better. They're really good at just forcing teams to really stay on that strong side. You see it all the time where you got Juwan Gary and Bryce Williams baiting them into that skip pass, knowing what that offense wants to do to break up that Nebraska defense. And they're all just really dialed in. So you give credit to Hoiberg for not only coming up with the scheme, but they're locked in on that side of the court, and that's going to do a lot of favors for them, especially at home. So I think this team's legit. What the ceiling is, I don't know. It seems like the ceiling is going to be on the offensive side of the court, not so much the defensive side. But rebounding seems like it shouldn't have too many issues there either. Outside of the Michigan State game, you really haven't seen too many bad rebounding woes. So when it comes to UCLA, like this is a game where if they kind of do what they do all year, you force UCLA into taking contested threes all night long, unless it's like you said, you just happen to run into a team who's having a good, day that day where they're shooting 50% from three. I like Nebraska's odds. They got the height, they got the defense, and they're at home.
There it is. Shout out to the Virginia Pirate. The Virginia Pirate on the Sutter Heyman text line. Insightful dude. I see you. He states that if they don't make changes and fix problems, he could see a lot of teams in the college football space losing intentionally to get better position in the playoffs. Shout out to unnamed texter 1984. He says, Strickland, I grew up watching you guys. Current season ticket holder, and it is concerning that if Bryce and Juwan aren't in the game, offense looks different, scoring and the flow of the game. And then John and Cortland, thank you as well for always supporting, and we appreciate you guys tapping in on the text line. We got to get out of here right now. It is WTF We Talk Facts. We appreciate you guys for sticking with us, staying with us. We'll see you next week right here, Thursday, 6 to 7. On 93.7 The Ticket, WTF, We Talk Facts. We out. Peace.